welcome to the Snitchuation Room, our new relationship and advice podcast here at popsnitch.com. I'm Brandon, and today we're going to dive into the biggest relationship dilemmas, all the things that you've sent in. We thank you so much for everybody who's sent in a snitchuation for us to talk about. So we're going to jump right in with Snitchuation 1.
Yeah, so we tried to group a bunch of these into categories, and the first episode is focused mostly on like friendship dilemmas.
Yes, correct.
So just to let you know. So snitchuation number 1 is a doozy. Okay, my boyfriend and I thought we were being cute and helpful by setting up our friends on a blind date. My friend, we'll call her Emma, and his friend Jake both seem perfect for each other on paper. They're single. They like the same shows, the same food, the same places to hang out. We were convinced they were about to have a modern love story. We did a double date, and from our side of the table, it looked fine. Maybe a little awkward at first, but normal first date vibes. We said goodnight, went home, and then the debrief began. My boyfriend's friend, Jake, was ecstatic. He said he had an amazing time, thinks she's gorgeous, could really see this going somewhere. My friend, Emma, in a word, was offended.
Like offended like she was just at the mere thought.
The word just says offended.
Okay.
She basically said she felt like I didn't know her at all if I thought he was so high. Not just looks, but energy, ambition, all of it. She said she felt like she had just been set up with the first available man, and it low-key hurt her feelings.
Wow. So...
I tried to smooth it over and told her I genuinely thought they would click. She is cordial, but clearly not interested. Here's the problem. The guys work together and see each other all the time. Jake keeps telling my boyfriend how into her he is and how excited he is to see her again. My boyfriend, bless his clueless heart, keeps adding all 4 of us into group text trying to set up more hangs, drinks, trivia, game nights. Emma, quote unquote, is politely dodging. I can feel her getting more annoyed. I'm cringing every time my phone buzzes. The vibes are off and everyone can feel it except apparently the men. Okay, so for context.
Big surprise there.
Yeah, the guys are coworkers and friends. They see each other every day. Emma and I have been friends since college, and she really matters to me. Oh, this is like making...
Yeah, this is bad.
Ill. Okay, so no one has actually been rude to anyone. It's just tense and mismatched. So she's just saying, like, how do I handle this? How do I move forward?
Wow.
That's the snitchuation.
That's the snitchuation. So we'll move on now to our unlicensed analysis.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, I think the main issue here comes in the fact that, you know, her friend is now like truly offended at the fact that she thought that this man was on her level. And my question is, did you really think this guy was on her level, or were you leaning more into the fact that was it her husband? Boyfriend who works with them was like, oh, this is a good guy? Or did you really not know?
Right.
And so I think there's part of that that's playing into this. So like, did she really know that he wasn't on and still set this up? Or did she just lean on the boyfriend's understanding of who this person was?
Well, either way, like if your friend's offended, tell your boyfriend to cut it off.
Yes. It's time to end this.
Yeah, it's time to talk to your boyfriend and be like, hey, not interested. She does not want to hang out with him. This is not going to be a double date thing. It sounds to me like you and your boyfriend were low-key selfish and didn't actually think about, not like in a mean, selfish way, but like, oh, this will be fun. This is my friend. This is your friend. Let's hang out together. I didn't like really think through how it might feel to each other. It sounds like she was out of his league, given that he was ecstatic and she was offended. Like, those are really intense words to use for it.
I also think that this person's friend, the fact that this is the reaction, that she really is offended, that she's voicing this offense, lets me know that I think the true offense is the fact that the friend didn't put in more effort to vetting.
Yeah.
And so that, I think, is more why she's upset, less about this guy, but more of like, we don't know the history with this friend. So is this someone who's struggled in relationships? Is this a person who's not into casual dating? Is this like, and to her, this said more about her than it said about this guy.
Well, we also know that like there are so many more good women out there than good men.
Oh.
It's why our friends like right now we're 39 and 40. And so our friends who are getting divorced, we're like in our first wave of divorces.
Third or fourth wave.
Well, I guess so. The women are, it's really interesting because the men are coming out and they're like, wow, there are all these really hot, key rich, like successful women who are interested in me. Just like a normal, nice man who knows how to commit to something. And then the women are like, I feel freedom for the first time in my life, but I literally never want to be around a man forever and ever.
Well, and I think we're unlocking something there too, because none of the men that I talk to are getting what they want out of this dating relationship situation either. Because I think that there's a desire, I think wrongfully so, that men are wanting someone to be a mother, not only to them, but like to their unborn, unnamed children. But it's like they're looking for that spirit. But these women are high class, just left a relationship that was like that, where they fell into these traditional gender roles and they're like, this is not for me. So who's out there are the men who were not eligible enough to find that person necessarily. And then the women who are now out of those relationships.
Yeah.
And
it's such a mismatch.
It's a mismatch. And I'm not saying that's everyone, but this is a lot of what I hear.
Yeah.
Because you have men who haven't been able to find someone because they're not measuring up.
Yeah.
And then you have the women who've measured up and tried it the way that everyone told them that this is how you do it. And they did that and that didn't work for them.
Yeah.
And so I think there's a lot of crossing going there with two types that don't match.
Yeah, like what is that? Why can men not get it together or like read a room?
Yeah.
Like how do you sit at a table with someone and a woman leaves telling her friend she's offended and you leave being like, let's be in a group chat.
You know what? Yeah. Let me get that tag. Let me try again.
Yeah.
Like, no, it's over.
I guess like that for me is what's crazy, to not be able to catch a vibe.
Well, that's the reading of it. The reading of it is like, how does this guy not know that this is the vibe? And how is he not reading that? Because she's not responding in these texts or anything, right?
Well, she didn't say that.
She didn't say,
She just said like what to do. Step 1, tell your dumbass boyfriend to talk to his friend, to catch his friend and be like, get off your phone.
It is on him. And I would say that this would be the same with me. If like I had introduced a friend of yours to someone and they're like, no, it's not your responsibility to clean this up for the guy. The woman's done. She's out of this.
Her job is to apologize to her friend.
Yes.
And say like, listen, I should have vetted him properly. This was not a reflection of you.
Yes.
Many apologies.
Yes.
Mea culpa. Tell me more. Like if you want to be set up, tell me more. Let me jot down some notes about what you're looking for.
Oh yeah, that's definitely part of it.
But she needs to go to her boyfriend, say like, get this man out of her DMs, out of her texts. It's not happening. Like, let it go. Let the dream die.
We're not here for it.
No. And like, I don't care if he works with him. Like, that's fine. I feel like that's
no. I'm sorry. Even if it's just worked for him, unless it's his boss, I mean, you just need to go to him and say, look, it did not go the way we wanted it to. Honestly, like it's getting to an awkward point where you just need to stop texting her. And I mean, that's simple. Even if it was your boss, I feel like the boss would want to know. I would want to know.
It's reminding me of so many TV shows, like on Friends, when Rachel's boss wants to be with Chandler.
Oh,
and he tells her she has crust in her eyes. Every time I put on my scale, I'm like, oh my God.
Let me make sure that
it's so hard to keep it up.
That I'm not. And then some people just have like a crust problem. Like our dog Doug has an eye crust issue.
He does. It's a real problem.
So it goes deep in our family.
Yes, I have. Yeah. So it's your boyfriend's issue. It's not your issue. So I guess that brings us out.
All right. So your mission, if you choose to accept it, I think you got to tell your friend. Actually, you got to tell your boyfriend that this is his problem.
Yeah, this is no longer your problem.
This is not your problem. You need to apologize to your friend.
This is your boyfriend's mission.
Yes, and it may be a self-destruct.
Yeah, maybe you push the button.
Yeah, but the truth of the matter is that your only mission in this is to repair with the friend. To say this was not a reflection on you. This was totally bad. Like throw your boyfriend under the bus fully. Be like, he did not tell me. I did not know. I'm sorry I didn't vet. Just throw yourself down in front of the bus.
Also, like send us more information. What was horrific about this man? Like, what
Or
happened?
what did she think was horrific
Yeah, like,
about
what
it?
was so bad about it? What was, like, the big mismatch between, like, what you thought would be good? And did you agree with her? Like, was the dinner so horrific that you would have left feeling the same way? Because it kind of sounds like that on my end. Okay, let's go to the second one.
Great. So your mission, repair with the friend.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Maybe don't do it with your toe.
yeah. Well, I just went through like 3.
Oh, boy.
All right. So snitchuation number 2.
Numero dos.
All right. This is from an anonymous person as well. But I know this is a good one. My best friend and I were inseparable for 7 years. We even called each other Platonic Soulmates. She was a huge part of my life and really helped shape who I am. During the pandemic, she decided to move to Europe for grad school and needed $2,000 in her account for her visa. I loaned it to her without hesitation, and she promised her mom would pay me back quickly. That never happened. Before she moved, I joined her family on a trip where her mom suddenly turned on me, acting jealous, shutting herself in her room, even accusing me of owing them money, despite the fact that they still owed me $2,000. It was bizarre, but my friend brushed it off as, this is just how my mom is. After she moved to Europe, things changed. She stopped responding to messages, sometimes for weeks and months, and it felt like I was the only one keeping the friendship alive. Meanwhile, she'd post about another friend back in New York saying distance didn't affect that friendship. She occasionally would send emotional apologies, even a voice memo crying because she dreamed that I had died.
What?
Promising she'd do better to maintain their friendship, but nothing actually changed. I brought up the money a few times, hoping that she'd pay me back when she got settled. Every time she promised, I'll send it next week, and then nothing. Years passed like this. She came home for Christmas 2 years later and promised again that she and her mom would pay me back while she was in town. That never happened either. A month later, she finally sent screenshots of her mom refusing to pay me at all. Eventually, I realized if I didn't reach out, we didn't talk at all. When I stopped initiating, the friendship basically evaporated. She ghosted me completely. The money isn't why I stopped. If she had told me she couldn't pay, I honestly would have let it go. But the situation made something very clear. Our friendship only worked when it was convenient for her. I was putting in all the effort, accepting crumbs, while she built a new life and left me behind. I still miss her. I dream about her. Sometimes I want to reach out, but it's been a year and a half and no effort from her. If she hasn't had an impulse to check in by now, I have to accept what that means. And yeah, I'm angry. How do I throw away a friendship like that? Or how do you throw away a friendship like that? There is no signs that she didn't want to be in my life anymore. It just faded. And I'm left wondering whether she valued it the way that I did.
Yeah, I mean, friendships are really hard because sometimes it's like a season, sometimes it's a lifetime, sometimes you pick up where you left off and you haven't spoken in years. So there are all kinds of different types of friendships. I have friends that I haven't spoken to in literal years that I know if I saw, we could sit down and catch up for hours.
No,
and it
of
would
course,
be no
of
big
course.
deal. Now, we do not have a financial entanglement.
No, I mean, that really does complicate
that
it.
complicates it. But I think in terms of like a relationship, the fact that she hasn't reached out doesn't necessarily mean that she never valued the relationship.
No, I completely agree with that. I would say that more so than not, she is embarrassed.
Yeah.
And this embarrassed her. She doesn't have the money or doesn't want to give the money or whatever that is. And that embarrassment of how this has been handled because her mother was involved, because of all this stuff.
There's got to be like a shame.
There's a shame component to it completely. The truth of the matter is that if you called her up and basically laid this out for her, it would give her the opportunity to say, I'm wrong. This is why this happened, and you probably could repair the relationship. I don't think it'll ever be the same, but you could get this person back in your life if you felt that was necessary. I know you kind of did that once, but I will say it was right on the back end of this $2,000. The $2,000 is no longer a problem.
Yeah.
2 other pieces of advice. Number 1, friendships can just be seasonal,
Yeah.
and it's okay to let them be seasonal. And that doesn't mean in the same way that if you had a 7-year marriage that ended, it wasn't a failure. You had a lot of good things that came out of that marriage. Probably you learned a lot in that marriage. It's not a failure. So friendships can be the same way. And then second of all, and I've told this piece of advice, it's one of the pieces of advice that my dad has given me that has stuck with me every day of my life, is that you do not loan money to people unless you are 100% okay with never getting it back. Like that's just the bottom line. And I'm not saying that you did anything wrong by lending this money or feeling bad that it wasn't. But the advice that I've been given and I live by to protect myself from this kind of thing is that I do not lend money that I would not be 100% okay with never seeing again.
Yep.
And that's kind of where I'm at with it.
Yeah. And let me tell you, we have been asked, people love being like, do you remember when, I'll tell you this, because I know my mother can.
Oh, I love this. Please.
When we were 24, it was like the housing crisis. And we lived in California. And so we were able to buy a house for like $10, basically. Not really, but we were living off of like a teacher's salary. And we were able to buy a house, but we could like barely like put furniture in it. And so we had just bought it. We were like so excited. And my mom called and was like, hey, I need you to loan me $5,000 for some furniture that I want to buy. I don't want to have this old furniture in my townhome anymore. And I was like, well, that would like wipe out half our savings. And we're trying to like finish putting like, I don't even think we had bought it. We were like in the midst.
Oh no, we were in the middle of
down payment on it and like getting everything taken care of. And I'm like, now's not a great time.
It was in that month period.
Yeah. And I'm like, we really can't do that. And she was like, well, it really need it. I really don't want this to go on my credit. And I tell you what, go ahead and give me that $5,000. I'll pay you back monthly with no interest for 5 years.
5 years, people.
And I was like,
she said 5.
And I said, listen, if you were going to be out on the street or you needed food or something like that, like I would do it in a heartbeat. But I'm trying to buy a home and this is crazy. Like, no, I'm not going to give you money unless I can release it without wanting it back because it's going to complicate our relationship in a way I'm just unwilling to do it. To this day, she's still mad at me about that.
Yeah.
So that's also something to consider.
This rule doesn't always work out as being the having the least thing. Yeah.
And so it will bite you. My favorite part is that she has changed it now. Now she says that she needed it for some car issues.
Oh, that's not true at all.
Which isn't true. But
this was going to Ashley Furniture Financing.
1,000%. But anyway, yeah, I think like as far as the friendship goes, you have to figure out if she's not living here and you don't know if that's going to be something that is going to be breathing life into you currently. If it's something that's worth, dredging this up, then, you need to think about, is this worth it to you now? If so, then I would disabuse her of worrying about the $2,000. Just be like, I just want you to know, I don't give a shit about this. I was frustrated about it for a while, but I actually don't think it was about the money. I think it was like that I didn't feel valued by you as a friend. But in my personal opinion, it sounds to me like she feels really shamed by the fact that like she didn't have the money. She spent her money on other things. Her mom obviously acted like a lunatic. I would be horrified if my mom did that.
And I think it's important that we note, and I think I'm going to add this to the Snitchuation form, is to get people's astrology. Because I happen to know that this individual is a Cancer and a deeply feeling person. The person who wrote in.
Oh.
And so like when I read through your explanation of what happened and how you're feeling deep thoughts about this. And depending on who this person is, they may not be on that level. They may think this is all about this $2,000.
Yeah.
They may think it's all about like you kind of knowing that they can't give you this money or don't have control over it, and that they're not sensing the deep hurt maybe that you're feeling, and that the deep feelings of friendship and love that you have for this person. And it is a platonic friendship. So they may not be the kind of person who feels those friendships as deeply as you do.
Well, it sounds like, she said that they were like soulmates, that they were together like besties for 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think
they called each other. I just looked back at it. They called themselves platonic. So maybe that.
So things happening. You got someone starting fresh elsewhere
Mhm.
during the pandemic where all of us felt very stilted. So that's already like sort of this dichotomy. You're giving them money to start fresh.
Yes.
So I can understand. So like already feeling devalued, already feeling like this divide. And then the mother is like a weird wild card in all of this.
Literally, yikes.
I don't like that part of it is so bizarre. And like having to ask, like, I know these people have to be like in their 30s now.
Oh yeah, at least.
And like, if I called my mom and asked her for money, she would be like, I'm sorry, did you have an aneurysm? I don't give you money.
Yeah.
If I'd asked my mom for money in my 20s, she would be like, no.
Well, and I will say, the mother never promised $2,000. The friend was the person who said, my mom will pay you back.
Yeah. And then the mom was like, actually, you owe me money, which is crazy.
Well, because they had invited her on this trip.
But if you invite someone on a trip as an adult and you have a child, if you invite another person on a trip, I don't feel like they owe you money.
No, that's what I'm saying. But the mom, we don't know this friend and
this
how
mom sounds bonkers.
And that's another thing. Like, did the mom have all the information, or does she think that a person who's come on a trip that she has invited you on and paid for?
Yeah.
And is she thinking that this person is now asking for $2,000?
Yeah. So I don't understand the mom's role in all of it. She sounds literally insane. But in terms of like what I would do next is I would think long and hard about whether or not having this person in my life right now is what I want. And if I think that it is, my first step would be to reach out, even though I'm the one who has to reach out every time. But I would want to reach out and say how I'm feeling.
Yeah, this is weighing on you. Release this. Go put it.
Let it go.
Yeah, so I think for you to feel good about this, there does need to, even if it's a very friendly way, just being like, this is how I felt when this happened. And I know that it may just be water under the bridge now, but in order for me to move on, like I need to say that this hurt me and that I really enjoy our friendship and would like to have it a part of my life, if that's how you feel.
Well, I would say a couple of things. I would say like, 1, I miss you. 2, I feel like our friendship has been really weird since this debacle. 3, I do not care about this money. I would like for us to start over.
Mm-hmm.
And in order to do so, I think it's important for you to know that I feel like every time we try to start over, I feel like it's incumbent on me to reach out to you. And so for us to have that relationship, I would love to see reciprocity.
Yeah.
And then if she's unable to do that, you have your answer.
100%. All right. So, Snitchuation 3.
Okay. Situation 3. Okay. My friend is in a friends with benefits with this guy who has treated her pretty badly. Ugh. All of her friends have told her to ditch this guy, but when they are together, it's clear that he does like her. Yeah, but he's so crappy to her. Also, when she's without him, she talks about him all the time, and it's getting really frustrating. 1, it's hard to watch your friend love someone who's rude. And 2, it seems like all she talks about. Oh, it seems like he is all she talks about and all we talk about. Extra details. They've been hooking up for over a year. Jesus. And I also have watched him flirt with girls in their 20s before I knew about my friend.
Yikes.
Okay. Initial thoughts?
I would say friends with benefits situations, and I don't want to sound old school with this, but they are very, very messy.
Okay.
Because I think inevitably somebody has more feelings than the other person. Or it's very easy for those to develop when you are just doing a friends with benefits thing, especially if you truly are friends and not just a hookup. Mm-hmm. Because you're mixing those kind of relational boundaries all the time. And so I think that I'd caution, I'm not saying no friends with benefits, I'm just saying I would caution friends with benefits from the very beginning.
Yeah, I think of a couple things. I think of When Harry Met Sally,
Mm-hmm.
Meg Ryan's like bestie who is sleeping with a married man, and how Meg Ryan is constantly like, he's not going to leave his wife, like being kind to her, but always like reminding her, like, this is not going to be your guy.
Yes. If this is how this is going, like, this is not the story you want. We were not committed, and he wouldn't commit to me, and he wouldn't commit to me. And finally, one day I convinced him to commit to me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like that dynamic.
She sounds what Tinks calls boyfriend sick, but it's not even her boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
We're like, this is all she can talk about. She's just obsessed. And the fact that it's been a year, it's like he's keeping her on this leash, like on purpose, like giving her breadcrumbs to do it. And like, maybe you need to have a conversation with her and be like, this is what I'm observing as like a third party looking at this. And I feel like he is hurting you and keeping you bit by bit. And if that's what you're interested in, that's fine. I don't really want to talk. And if she responds poorly to that, like, you know, that's on her. But it really sucks. I feel like, especially when you're single, being with friends who cannot shut up about someone that they're dating, married to, like, that's so annoying.
And it's like when a relationship just becomes about the person's